Hello and welcome back to the On the Slab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Lads, I can't go on doing the intro without actually saying it. Why do we do this on a Friday night?
Because Friday night is horror night.
Absolutely it is. And as I said, it's a Friday the 13th. And it's a really good Friday the 13th. Do you want to know why, lads? Because it's
Yeah.
my
I know.
goddamn birthday.
Hooray! Happy birthday.
Doesn't come around all that often. Just once every 7 years it's on a Friday the 13th.
Nice.
But we're carrying on with our Christmas specials. Last week we obviously had Gremlins and we had Eno and Gizmo make an appearance.
And Stripe.
And Stripe tried to eat Ted's computer. Tonight, now I'm quite happy to have the King back, but I don't want an appearance from this character. This might cause all sorts of ructions. Although the Gremlins do quite a bad bit of business too. Tonight's Christmas movie is Krampus from 2015 by Michael Dougherty, who people will remember from arguably one of the best horror movies of the 2000s in Trick or Treat. He went on to do this Christmas tale. What would you call it, lads? Christmas fable? But yeah, so the 2015 movie, lads, Krampus. King, you watched it maybe up until about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, I'd seen it like last year as well, and I just needed to refresh before we came back on. Yeah, so
Ted had never seen it.
Yeah, no, I'd heard kind of mixed reviews about it, like, which doesn't necessarily normally judge my thing I'm watching, but when it comes to Christmas, horror kind of takes a back seat for me, bar obviously Gremlins, which is kind of like,
It's a must.
but it's not like a huge horror. You know, it's on that cusp of being a horror, but also like very, very much a Christmas film.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Michael Dougherty done a decent job with this. I seen this in the cinema,
Did you? I didn't know that.
and it was the last time I seen it up until this year. It was fucking. I hated it in the cinema. Hated it. Rewatched it obviously because we knew we were going to do the Christmas show, so I committed to it. I really enjoyed it on the second watch.
What changed it for you, Greg?
I don't know. I don't know whether I was having a bad day or whatever going into the cinema, or I went in expecting something completely different because of obviously Trick or Treat. I don't know.
I do think it's very hard to get the sweet the sweet spot between a really good horror Christmas movie and a really shit Christmas horror movie. It's very hard to get the good balance.
There's a load of shit ones.
Oh my god.
There's a load of shit ones.
Yeah, I think if you want to do it well, I think you have to make a decision early on. Are you a Christmas film with horror, or are you a horror film set at Christmas?
Yeah.
And I think you need to make, I think that's what you need to do. You need to make the decision which one you are, because if you're trying to be both at the same time,
You're gone.
it kind of just gets a bit too jumbled, because you don't get to focus enough on the Christmas and you don't get to focus enough on the horror. And then it's just kind of nothing, like, it just kind of falls apart then.
Yeah, and you see it quite regularly happening. And I know some movies take it themselves too seriously when they shouldn't.
Yeah, sometimes
and
it's
some
fine
movies
to be a
don't take
joke.
it serious enough.
Yeah.
If they did, it could actually be a decent movie. This one kind of hit nicely this time when I watched it. I got a lot more thing. Like, I didn't really know much about Krampus when I seen it. Obviously heard the story and didn't know too much about the folklore to it. So this time around, I was impressed with it,
Yeah.
and the effects were very good.
That's the main thing I liked about it. I loved the design of Krampus. I thought Krampus was absolutely class looking.
Yeah, the horns and everything,
Yeah.
and but then kind of had the human face.
Yeah. Fucking deadly looking. And that open mouth.
Yeah.
I think that was the big thing. They didn't show his face really. It was
Which is
always
good.
the big hood, so you could
Yeah.
see a face under it, you could see the eyes, you could see the mouth, but
The
that was
bit
it.
of the beard, same color
Yeah.
as King's there.
yeah.
Yeah, but like
I
they
love
didn't
Krampus.
they didn't have his hood down, like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I liked that like you didn't show they didn't show the actual monster for a lot of the film, which is a good thing I think, because they had all his other minions kind of doing all
Yeah.
his bits and bobs.
The less is more again goes well,
Yeah.
and Michael Dougherty done that really well as well in Trick or Treat with the likes of Sam. He held him back.
Yeah.
He holds back sort of the zombie monsters down in the well in the quarry and stuff. So he has a good balance and a good pace to the movie.
Yeah, I think they did do Krampus well to not show too much of him.
Yeah.
Because I think some things try to get too intense on him, and they try to make him look like this, like super super scary. And if you're gonna go that route, you're better off hiding him.
Yeah.
Or you go the route of like that he's just he's a guy with horns. You don't try and make him super scary. It's not a horror film, but Red One obviously came out there this year.
I haven't seen it yet.
I went to see it, and it's actually all right. Like it got blasted in like ratings and stuff, but it's a decent Christmas film, and they have a Krampus in it, but they don't have the hood up and everything, and they do him quite well. But like he's obviously, it's not a horror Krampus, so they were like, right, we just need to make him a big, like, demon looking guy. That's it, and they don't lean into him being super scary. I think that's
the Krampus. Was it like that? Was it?
No, he's definitely like intimidating, but he's not like, they're not like, right, we need to make him look as horrifying as possible. Yeah. And they've made that decision, and that's what I mean. You have to make that decision at some point.
Yeah.
You can't be like, let's go super horrifying and like try to do loads of work, because it doesn't work in a film. Like, you either have to hide the Krampus away or just make him kind of generic.
Yeah. I think with this one, like, it obviously starts off with. Did you find? I found the start of this as a little nuance to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, where the family are coming in and they're fucking killing each other and everything.
I think it's very like Home Alone. Like, obviously, the family.
Christmas Vacation would have been before Home Alone, but.
Yeah, but what I mean is like,
the vibes of both of those films are in this. Yeah.
Obviously, in Home Alone, it's not the family coming in; it's just that there is a family coming in, but like his family are just dickheads as well.
Uncle Frank is a dick.
Yeah, but the whole family are dicks. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's essentially what's the story here with the family that's coming in here. Like, they're just dickheads the entire time. Like,
I don't even know if it's the family this time. I think it's just the kids. The kids are fucking arseholes in this.
Nah, the dad's a dick as well. And
the aunt is you leave Cockner alone. I will not have a bad word said about him.
The aunt is proper like cunt as well. Like,
Conchita Farrow.
Yeah, I think everyone does their role brilliantly, but that's the point. They're meant to come in and just be real. Oh, yous are rich and this, that, and the other, and like, it's your fault that we have a bad life. Not like you have a bad life because you're fucking idiots. Like,
and only one kind of noticed horror actor in there was Toni Collette.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a great.
Adam Scott's in it as well. I was like, what the fuck?
Adam Scott was brilliant for his role. That's the exact type of role he should be in.
Yeah.
He's done the same kind of role when he was in Piranha as well.
Yeah.
I think the adult cast did very well. You know, they were.
I wasn't so much fond of the kids' performances. They were just there.
Yeah.
I think the main kid was good.
Max.
Yeah, I thought he was okay. Like, I didn't think he was terrible. The sister isn't really in it enough to make a judgment call on how she does. Do you know what I mean?
How good was that, lads? Like, that's like obviously the build to this. He writes a Santa letter and loses belief, turns around, hates everyone because there's a fight at the table, and that brings Krampus over.
Oh yeah.
But how creepy is it? Like, he looks out the window and the snowstorm is hit, and then there's just like a snowman. And it's obviously we later come to terms of finding that the snowmen are the people that have been taken already.
Yeah.
And Krampus is going house to house, taking everyone out.
Yeah.
That part where you see him up on the roof.
On a roof, yeah.
And he's chasing him.
Real good, yeah.
Deadly.
Jumping from roof to roof, yeah.
That's class.
I really enjoyed her scene where she's like, what parent's gonna let their daughter go out in that blizzard to go and see her boyfriend for an hour? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care if he lived across the road.
Yeah. Also, he's not answering because the storm's real bad. Yeah, that probably means you shouldn't go out in it.
You
like,
think?
What the fuck? Get the fuck back in the house.
Yeah, and then obviously she sees Krampus jumping house to house, tries to run home, and then she climbs under the car. I love that. She climbs under the car. You think, oh yeah, she's safe. And then Krampus comes down, walks around, fucks off, leaves a box that she thought, like, the box opens and she's just looking at it instead of moving.
Yeah.
It just gets eaten.
Yeah, but again, would you, that's actually, I quite like that, because if you were in that situation, right, and something, you were like, oh shit, there's something out there trying to get me, and they leave something there, are you going to be like, I better get out of here because whatever's in that box might kill me? But you're like, if I get out of here, he's probably just standing off over there on another roof. He's going to batter me. Like,
It's
you're
catch
kind of,
22. I take
yeah,
my
Damned if
chances
you,
running.
damned if you do and damned if you don't.
yeah.
I'd be taking my chances running, to be honest.
Yeah, possibly. But do you know what I mean? Like, you're just, I did like that in this. He walks all the way around and then just leaves. He obviously jumps up in the air or whatever, leaves, and then leaves the present. Because you're always expecting that he's going to walk all the way around and then
And pull her out.
either pull her out, or just as she steps out, he's going to walk around from the other side of the car or the building or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? Because they're just that's the generic thing to happen. So it's a really different way of doing it. Like,
Yeah, it was. I quite enjoyed it, and I was like, yes, because it's not often you see in horror films where the kids start getting picked off.
Yeah.
And
I did like the way it went, like from at the very start to it was like a real, like we were talking about, real Christmas movie. Then it changes right, to a fucking horror film. I love that, the way it
But
just bang.
again, I go back to Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat was
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
you think back when it goes to Thing's story with the werewolves in it. It's just like a Christmas party, and you're like, or a Halloween party, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? And then all of a sudden, it just goes to a whole different fucking ball game, and you're like, what is going on? Anna Paquin is the name, I couldn't remember.
yeah. No, I love when, like, obviously, the daughter, we know she's died, but obviously the rest of the family have no idea, and they're like, right, we better head out and get her. The two dads go out and get her, and then they get to the house. I love how simple they make it when they get into the house. Like, you're walking around and it's like, geez, the place is in bits. You're like, what the fuck happened here? And then you see,
All
like,
frozen as well.
Yeah.
and then you see the gingerbread man, like, stuck to the fridge with the knife and stuff. And then you're like, oh, there was a gas explosion. What, in the chimney? You think a gas pipe in the chimney? If someone put a gas pipe in the fucking
Great
chimney,
place
of course,
to put it, isn't it?
of course it's gonna fucking explode. Who the fuck thinks they put it there? But, like, it's just, they're trying to explain things that just don't make sense, because what else would make that happen to a building?
Yeah. And then walking back, he gets attacked by the underground tremor kind of creature.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. And it just shreds his leg.
But again, they don't find the daughter. It's not like they find her dead or anything like that. When they get back, they don't. Yeah. But they don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, they get back and they're like, we couldn't find her. We don't know. Like, she's like, she must be okay, because they don't want to believe she's dead. Like,
they do hear her scream, though, don't they?
They hear somebody scream, but I doubt it's her, because she's dead by that point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's her where they're putting her into the snowman. That's why I always took it.
Yeah, it could be, like, you wouldn't, like, they don't really go into that. And I do love that they have the German grandmother, do you know what I mean? Like, who's experienced this. And she keeps, like, looking up the chimney and stuff. She's
keep the fire going.
Keep that fire warm.
Fire hot. Yeah.
Keep the fire hot, yeah. I loved, lads, did you think that fucking Jack in the Box thing was mad looking?
The one that came out and got the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just there. Very similar to the horror movie Jack in the Box. That kind of look.
I liked the like that the top of the mouth is solid, and it's the bottom opens, but it doesn't just come down; it opens out and down.
The blade too, kind of way.
It's got to split down the middle of the mouth. Like, it just looks really good. And the gingerbread men are fucking deadly in this.
They they were like the Gremlins a little bit, weren't they?
Yeah, just fucking chaotic they were.
One of my favourite moments, though, comes after they let the fire, they all go to sleep. The uncle's like, I'll stay up first. Shredded your leg, mate. Your body's going to shut you down and go to sleep. It's 100% going to happen, Larry.
Yeah.
And fire goes out, and down the chimney on a hook comes... It wasn't a gingerbread, it was like a muffin. A muffin
Yeah,
man.
muffin man type thing. Yeah.
See, I think it's meant to be a gingerbread man because obviously you make gingerbread men like
Yeah.
that's a Christmas thing. So I think like it looks more muffin because it's it has to be
Thicker.
more
It's not
thick.
flat.
Like
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the point. But I always took it that they're meant to be gingerbread men.
Yeah. And then obviously no intended slagging over the little fat kid goes after the thing. Like I'm not exactly skinny, so but he goes over and I don't know what was going through his mind here that there's this random gingerbread on a hook.
I'll just eat that.
Yeah.
And he did.
And then his whole face when he bites into it and the gingerbread thing comes to life, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Does he say anything in the whole film?
No.
Not much, no.
Like not much. I don't think he says
Nothing.
anything. Like
Yeah.
he seems to be like a complete fucking idiot.
Does he not say help me when he's getting dragged up and then he says dad as he's getting taken away?
He might say dad, but I think that's about it. Like
Yeah, he doesn't have a conversation, no.
the rest of the time he's just sitting there looking at everyone real blank like.
Yeah, or eating one or the other.
I love though that the gingerbread man wrapped him up in the chain and he's getting dragged up the chimney.
They're all trying to hold on to him.
Yeah. And Toni Collette now, to be fair to her, she's over the fire holding him. She's the only one that actually seems to be trying to do anything.
Yeah, it sets the whole Christmas tree all on fire.
Yeah. But no, he gets taken off and you just hear them laughing, the pixies and the elves and stuff laughing.
I loved, like when they hear something up on the roof and they're like, oh, it's probably squirrels. Or like, squirrels? What
Playing
with
with
squirrels?
squirrels.
You have lads, so fucking humping around up there. Would you stop?
I love how occasionally when you hear noises, it pops over to the granny.
She's just looking around. She's like,
she knows
oh, dear.
what's going on.
I know what's coming.
Yeah, she knew when the snowstorm hit, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think she knew before that. Because do you know when she's at the table at the very beginning and Max asks her like, do you believe in Santa and stuff? And she's kind of like, yes. And it looks like she's going to say something to him. And then she just doesn't. And she's like, oh, I believe in dessert before dinner. Yeah. Like she wants to get away from that conversation because she knows what happened. Like,
yeah, no, I know that, but like she doesn't know he's coming then.
No, but I think she suspects it because the family has been so hostile towards each other the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
I think
maybe.
she's kind of suspecting it.
And then obviously when the snowstorm hit, then she knew.
Oh, when the snowstorm comes, she knows. She's like, get this fucking fire lit. Like, fucking hell.
She's like, keep that hot now, boy.
They should have had Santa come in and save them.
Nah. Should have had Krampus do a job on him.
Imagine.
Oh, geez, that would be real rough.
No hope.
There was some really good kills in this, though. Obviously, the two twin sisters up in the attic with the presents, and it turns out to be the elves.
They look cool as well, actually. The elves.
Yeah.
The elves were fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
They're more gremlin-like than anything. They were fucking.
And the masks on them were really good.
The masks are deadly, yeah.
Very similar to that. I keep losing the name of that movie where it's like the tooth fairies or the pixies living underneath the house. Do you remember that? Don't be afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very similar to that kind of porcelain face look.
Yeah.
I thought it had a bit of the Purge look to it.
It did, yeah. Definitely something along them lines of that kind of.
But they do it so well because those guys are just chaotic. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're just coming in, just like fucking everybody up, and then they're just like, "Oh, he says it's time to go. Let's go."
They should be Santa's helpers.
They take out one of the sisters.
They take the little baby as well.
Yeah, that's rough as fuck, that, isn't it?
It's fucking gone, like.
Good luck.
And then the dad obviously jumps after them, and off he goes as well.
Yeah. He's gas though. He got himself into loads of movies over that time.
Yeah, he's a very funny guy.
David Kochner or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
He's Champ Bait or
Champ Coin or no. Champ Coin Sports, yeah. Anchorman.
Chet you betcha. Whammy.
Whammy.
He should have said that in this.
Imagine. I think for me now, it would have been just the horror kid in me. It would have been perfect the end, and when Krampus has the young float up over the fire, over the hole and then just drops them. And I've just had to just left it at that. I thought it would have been deadly.
Yeah, probably should have really.
Yeah.
I think that as I said, like I had a few issues with the film, and that's kind of one of them. Like we'll get to that, but like now in a few minutes. But just the rest of the film, like they go out into the snow, and it's the granny is like, I'm gonna say back here.
That scene where she was telling everyone we have to leave, and she's seen the fire already go down.
She was like, I'll stay.
Any single horror fan knows what's coming next.
Yeah.
But it did kind of get. I was like, oh no, you're the only one that's actually decent in this family.
Yeah.
Well, see, I was wondering like how was that gonna go? Because he obviously let her live the last time, right? So is he gonna be like? Yeah, I was gonna be like, is he just gonna let her live? Like, be like, listen, I'm gonna, I let you live after I killed your entire family, and I'm gonna do it again.
That would have been funny, wouldn't it?
Like, forget
that would have
about
been a right
the
twist,
kid,
wouldn't it?
yeah, like forget about letting the kid live. Like, you're the one that's gonna live. You are the one that brought me here in the first place. Do you know what I
mean?
Yeah. And then just left her, and she's just in the house. She's just like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have stayed behind. I should have gone with them.
So technically, there's 2 or 3 better endings we could have had.
I wonder if you got your hands on the DVD, is there an alternate ending?
No, I think the ending they went with is the one they wanted. And I get what they were going for. It's that he like collects the families. But I didn't like it.
So I've just Googled it here. There is 2 different endings to it.
Oh.
2 more or like 1 more, like this one?
So
and
from what I can see here on the videos, there's 2 different ones. One's an extra minute and a half. The other one's an extra 3 minutes.
Right. Yeah. I'll have to look them up, but I thought this was the wrong way to end it anyway. Yeah. Like they'd done so well with, the 2 mothers getting killed. Then you're left with one of the twin girls and Max in the car. They can't drive. She gets taken out. She gets taken out and gets dragged to the sleigh, and Max has obviously been given his gift of the
bauble.
The survival bubble.
I thought it was a bauble at first, but I think it's actually a bell.
Yeah,
it could be a bubble. That's a bell. Like
the tree ornament anyway.
Yeah, so he's he has that, and he goes to give it back, and I was like, oh, if this wasn't a horror film, this would be like, oh, it's all reversed, this, that, and the other. And it obviously is, and I was like, I wonder how they're going to go with this. Do you know what I mean? Is it going to be that he gets taken and the rest of them do get to live, but they get to live with the experience of what had happened to them? Do you know what I mean?
The way they did.
No, because nothing happened to her. Like, she survived the first time. She survived, like the whole family died, and she knew about it.
No, but remembering everything that she'd seen.
Yeah, but it'd be very different remembering what you've seen or remembering how you got fucking killed. Do you know what I mean?
I got fucked up by a gingerbread man.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, I thought, like, if you went that way, I was like, Jesus, will they go that way? That's a bit of a poor ending as well. Like, it's a bit too...
Well, I mean, the ending they went with, the Christmas Carol ending, really.
Yeah, and I see, but he has the little like, who gives him the bauble in the ending they do? He gets a bauble.
It's on the tree, is it not?
He gets a gift and opens the box, and it's the bauble, and he looks at it and he knows what it is, but the rest of the family all look at it and know what it is. And you're kind of sitting there going, well, one of you had to fucking give it to him.
Because I think they're all, like, as you know, they're all in Krampus's little glass thing now.
It's like Davy Jones' locker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all in the snow globe, but like, this is a Christmas present that somebody must have, like, in theory bought for him. And they're all like, oh shit. So they all know they're in there. And I was like, well, this is a bit shit. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, what a strange way to end it. Do you know what I mean?
It's that, it's like the Men in Black ending, isn't it? Where it just leaves so much open.
Yeah, but if just he knew about it, you'd be like, oh, the rest of the family don't
realise that they're that alive.
Yeah, they don't realise that they're in this thing. And also, he comes down and the family, they're all friendly. They're all great. They're all having a great laugh. That's not the way your cousins are.
He got his wish, then he got his family, but
Yeah.
it's
but
they're going to be like that forever now.
He got them all right. Krampus got him good.
But that's what he wanted. So like, is Krampus a good guy in this? He's given him the perfect family, and
but he's stuck with them forever now.
Yeah, you're stuck with them forever. But like, you're stuck with them forever on Christmas Day. Because it's a snow globe. It's not like time's not going to go by. It's just going to be the same day over and over. Like, it's just going to be Groundhog Day. You know what I mean?
It's a good day. It's a good day.
Like, every day, waking up in the morning, and it's like, gonna have me Christmas dinner. Lovely.
Turkey and ham. Yep.
Have me Christmas dinner. Open a load of presents. Okay, I know what they're going to be, but who fucking cares? You know what I mean? But no, they all know they're in this thing. That's just kind of like, to me, it was like, why do they all know? And why do they all, like, why did everyone's personality change? You know what I mean? It would have been better if it was the same day, but the same day, exactly the same day that he couldn't change anything. It just kept happening over and over and over again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so there are, as we said, there are a couple of things that we all would have changed out about it, but in general, it's just solid enough horror Christmas.
No, it is solid.
I'm just checking here, right? There is a Krampus 2.
There's about
that came out
4
in
different
2016.
ones.
Related to this one?
I'm only going by it must be because it came out in 2016. Krampus the Devil Returns, known as Krampus 2, is a 2016 American horror film that was written and directed by Jason Hull.
Yeah, see, I would say it's.
Oh no, okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with it. According to IMDb, it doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah,
okay,
no, it's just like they were like, this is Krampus 2 because we'll capitalize off how the first one did, and then everyone was just like, no, fuck that.
It had a measly 16% on Rotten Tomatoes anyway, lads.
Listen, like Krampus it's not a bad Christmas film, and I do think they did a lot right in it. But again, I think how you end a film can really impact how well the film then becomes received. Yeah. I think if you have a really poor ending, it leaves people with it. Like, if you have a poor start to a film, people are like, oh, it's a bit slow, it's a bit shit starting. But if it fucking ramps up and then gets good and ends well, that's all people remember. Like, it's the lasting taste in your mouth is just, well, that was a bit of a shit ending.
For me, I definitely think there was probably plans for a second one.
That could have been.
And it probably never happened. Same way Trick or Treat left that.
Yeah.
There is talks that 2025, 26 we're going to get Trick or Treat 2, so maybe we will get another Krampus along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd be too pushed on another Krampus, though, because I don't think there's anywhere they can really go with the story they told.
Yeah,
no, I don't believe so myself.
A one and done I'd be happy enough with.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think what they did was fine. The ending isn't great, but the rest of the film is fairly solid. The Krampus is done well. The elves, the gingerbread men, the Slinky toy, the Jack in the Box, the little weird doll. It's an angel, I think.
Yeah,
like all of the characters, and then the little fucking wind-up toy where he's like knives in his as his arms, and he's just fucking stabbing him in the back. Like, fucking hell, what a bastard.
Michael Dougherty certainly does a hell of a job on period films, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween and now Christmas. What's next? Valentine's Day Massacre. Well, the Easter Bunny, yeah.
Yeah. No, this is good now. To be fair, like they did do it well, and then I kind of think after this, Krampus became. I think that there was around this period, like we were saying it before we came on air, that at the moment there's this real love for taking like children's iconic characters, so Winnie the Pooh, Popeye, and all this, and turning them into horror films, and like, that's fine. But it's like this real generational thing. Like this is going to be a thing for 2 or 3 years, and I think around then, Krampus got like really big at that sort, like around like that sort of era for like 4 or 5 years. It was just this really big thing. So we got loads of Krampus films, like just blasted out.
I'd say it's because it didn't. People didn't have to wait for it to go to the public domain. It was because it's a Christmas story. It's just a story, like.
No, yeah, but it's not even just that. It's people have to, like, Krampus has been around forever. He's always been a thing in like other countries. Yeah, like in other countries and their folklore and the stuff they do with it. But it had never become a mainstream thing And then I can't really remember what made it mainstream, but something made it mainstream around that sort of time. And when they did, it was just like knock out a film, knock out another film, and you just got about 8 or 9 different Krampus films just all came out within the space of like a year or two of each other, and then it stopped because everyone was like, right, we've done that. That's been done to death. No one wants to see another Krampus film.
It certainly runs in the same principle that, say, shark films do. Do you ever notice, like, Jaws is obviously the pinnacle, and it's never going to go anywhere other than number one.
Yeah.
Right? Or if it doesn't go to number one, you're going to get an amazing movie. But anything that you get in terms of shark films, once there's a half decent one, the market gets fucking flooded with them again.
Yeah, and listen, this always happens because, like, obviously around the time of Scary Movie, not necessarily there was loads of scary movies, even though there was.
The parody movies.
But those parody type films. Well, I like a lot of them.
I quite enjoy them.
I like a lot of them, but they had their time where they were really popular, and then they kind of went away for a bit. And then obviously superheroes had like quite a long run, longer than most people would have thought they did. But you get this all the time where it's just this a subject comes up and that subject matter is used in a specific genre really heavily. So like at the moment we have these kids icons, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that's the thing now. And in 5 years, people are going to be like, "Why the hell did they make so many of them? They're shit. Like, why did people do so many of them?" But it's because, at the time, people are loving them. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone's loving them now. In 20 years, people are like, "Why the hell did they make so many around that time?"
Don't forget, we also got the first one. So yeah, shout out to Craig David Towser, who kindly came on when he was Winnie the Pooh, and Natasha Ticini as well. She was the first one on.
Yeah, and like this isn't a knock at those type of films, and it's not saying they are bad. It's just saying that in 10 years, everyone's going to look back and be like, "Why the fuck did you make so many of them in that like 2 to 3 year period?"
Saturate the market.
Yeah, and that's what happened with Krampus, and it's why we haven't had I don't think we've had a Krampus film kind of since
this one.
Like, no, this one, and then there was probably 3 or 4 more around it, and we won't get another one now for another 4 or 5 years, and then someone will be like, "Oh, do you know what I could do? I could do a new Krampus film." And then people will be like, "Oh,
Eggers."
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, a new Krampus film would be good, and we'll get another Krampus film, and it might be good and it might be bad, but that's when we'll get another one." And I don't think we'll get like a surge of them then, but you'll get another one. Do you know what I mean? You don't. It has its peaks and troughs, like. Yeah. So it's interesting to see it happen like that, but it does mean that there's a lot of Krampus films out there that and this is one of the better ones. Do you know what I mean?
This is probably the best of them, really.
It is the best one, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen all of them, so I don't want to say.
Either have I, but I'm going with it's the best of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said it there about sharks. You've said it. The market gets saturated. At the time of recording here, at the time of this episode comes out, it's the 13th December. We've 17 days, 18 days until Nosferatu comes out, and the market will be absolutely saturated with vampire movies now.
See, I don't think it will. I think vampires have been around so long that I think we won't get a saturation of them.
Oh, I think we will. I think you'll see them flooded out.
I hope not, but we might do, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we will. I think we've had our time where vampire films saturated the market in the past. I think we'll only get good ones now because people won't greenlight ones with a bad script anymore. They'll be like, "We're not fucking touching that. There's way too many good ones. We're not touching that."
Yeah.
Whereas with this, it's like we could be the good one. Do you know what I mean? Because all the other ones haven't come out yet, and you're like, "Fuck, we could be the best one." Like,
it could be us.
Yeah, and that's what happens. Everyone starts filming all at once, and they're like, "We could be the best one," and then inevitably one person is the best. You know what I mean? And then everyone else is like, "Shit."
Right, lads. What do you rate out of 5? Ted, what are you giving it out of 5 slabs?
I'd say I probably go about 3. It's nothing special, but it's not bad either.
King?
I'd say 2.5. You know, and that's a good
score. 2.5. 2.5 for us was where I was going, right down the middle.
Yeah.
Especially for me, obviously I hated it, never watched it after I seen it in cinema. To then going and I'm like, yeah, I could watch that again now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, see, I think if
my head.
I think if I took out the ending, right, if it ended when the hell pit opened up,
yeah, and the kid dropped in.
I'd be like, oh yeah, listen, that's a lot. Like that'd make the film a lot better for me. So it's only this like 2 minutes after that I feel would drop it down any further than a 3. So like that's why I'm willing to go 3, because I'm like that 2 minutes I can just, if I overlook that, that's where it'd be. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to knock it down that much just based on such a small portion of film.
Yeah.
Overall, Michael Dougherty hits on another seasonal classic.
I think so.
Yeah.
For the horror market, anyway, he hits on another seasonal classic.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
absolutely.
There's not like obviously we have 2 more Christmas horror films to do for this year.
Yeah, absolutely, 2 more to go, right up until Christmas.
And as I said, I'd love another really good one to come out. Because there's a lot of brilliant Christmas films, but there is not a lot of brilliant horror Christmas films.
Yeah, we got some action ones last year and stuff, but we'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to get many more this year, but I'd say maybe next year there might be 1 or 2 on the pan. I've heard some rumblings about some things.
Oh no, I don't think there'll be any more
down the line.
Yeah, I can't see any more coming out now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they'd have to be out now already, nearly.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that in the near future, somebody looks at it and goes, because obviously it is so close to Halloween that they want to get a Halloween one out because that's the big horror day.
That's the big one.
But I think again, loads of people are putting them out. Then don't go near that, right? There's enough people putting stuff out. Then pick your market, pick your shot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, obviously we've gone with 2 Hollywood ones. I'm just going to throw a little shout out to Stephen Lamort and his indie production of the parody of The Grinch in the main one. That was awesome. I know it hasn't really broken over here because it hasn't been released in Ireland and whatnot, but I had the pleasure of seeing it last year. So shout out to Stephen and the team there. They done a hell of a job with Fuzz on the Lens as well. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there, lads.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will preface that of the 2 more that we're doing, none of them are Terrifier 3 because we did a review episode so shortly. Like it was only a couple of weeks ago we did it, so we
4 weeks ago.
We're not doing it. We're not going to do it. So people might be clamoring, "Oh, it's a Christmas film." We're not disputing that it's a Christmas film.
You've done it,
but we just did it so recently. We're not putting it in as one of the other ones. We're giving a different film a chance.
That's a very valid point there, Ted. That's a good shout there as well.
Yeah, just before we start getting, obliterated of, oh, you didn't do Terrifier. It's one of the best Christmas films. Yeah, there is a specific reason. Maybe next year we'll do Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
But this year it's too close to the last review that we did.
We're not going to put out 2 of them in the space of 2 months. Not going to happen.
Well, we've nothing new to say about it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'll just re-put out the other episode and I'll put a new intro on it. Paste in the Christmas jumpers. But lads, it's been great to have you back. Again, King, welcome back.
Thank you, my
friend. You were here last week.
It was.
You'll be here hopefully next week and the week after.
Should be.
And you still have to tune in and see what week 3 brings. It'll be festive. It'll be frighteningly festive.
What Christmas jumper will I have on? Oh,
I've got a horror one for next week.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And you must be saving one more for the last one as well. You must have a big one for the last one.
Yeah, it's one with King's face right in the middle of it.
Yes, best horror one of all.
The Twilight cast around him.
I'm gonna come out ball bag naked and stand there and be like, "Yo."
That would be horrific.
But let's do it. I'll finish this the way we finish every single Friday night, lads. In the words of the great George A. Romero, stay scared.
Woo!